Hello, user testing community. It's Mike McDowell from the Solutions Consulting team at UserTesting, back with another tip of the week. Now, today I want to talk about screener questions. I know I've done a tip of the week on screener questions before, and it was about this same multi-select that you see on the screen in front of you. But at that time, I was talking about adding in a bogus question to prevent someone from selecting all of the options just random, just going through all of them, selecting them, and not really paying attention to what the answers were just because they're trying to get into your study. Well, in this case, I actually wanted to show you an example of a multi-select option question in a screener that has the potential to backfire, meaning that you will accidentally reject very viable candidates for your study. And so here in this case, you'll see this is a pretty standard question. I'm sure a lot of you ask this question. What are your responsibilities in your current role? And so, if any. And so the object in this particular case was that we really wanted project managers. They must select project management. And so you see that's set as must select. And then we've got may select on a number of other things. But then we've got a couple here that say reject. So back-end development, front-end development, food service, and sales are all set as reject. Now, this is a real example from someone that was working on something. So I thought it was really good to show something that's happening in real life. Now here, sales and food service, you could reasonably say these are reject. Like if someone's doing sales as part of their work, you may not want them to be brought into a study that has something to do with project management. But even sales does have some aspects of project management, so maybe you wouldn't want to reject it. Food service, this could be the trap right here where you say, okay, if you say that you're doing food service, like the odds of someone doing food service and project management or front-end development and back-end development, all these things, is unlikely. So you could leave the food service as reject. But then here, front-end development and back-end development were set as reject. Now, it might be reasonable to think that in a large corporation, someone who's doing the actual development and coding might not be doing the project management. But in smaller companies, certainly in startups, you definitely have people doing back-end and front-end development that are also doing project management. So by putting these as reject, you will end up having a fairly high incidence of someone saying they do project management, but they also do one of these other things. And if they do that, they will be rejected from the study. So someone who was a viable and good quality respondent to your study will be blocked. And so always be careful when you're using this multi-select to not put in too many rejects, because no matter what else they pick, if they pick one of these, they're out. And so the same goes with multiple must selects. It's not an or, it's an and. So if you say must select project management and then you say must select product manager, they must select both. So it's not that they can pick this one or they can pick this one. They have to pick both. So be very judicious when you use your multiple select boxes or options for your screeners. Only reject those things which truly, if they have any experience with this particular type of work, they must be rejected. Perhaps because the foreknowledge they will have as a front-end developer will ruin the test for someone who's primarily a project manager. And so we don't want that. But in this case, they did really want to get front-end and back-end developers. This did block everybody from the study. No one made it into the study because of the way that this was set up. And so just a little help there in terms of your screener questions, doing multi-selects. Hopefully this was a valuable tip for you. I think it should dramatically increase the quality of the screeners and reduce the speed to fill your tests if you are much more selective and critical about the way you set up these multi-selects. So until next time, I'm Mike McDowell, and I will see you once again for another tip of the week next Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody.